Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you being here, buddy.
Hell yeah. You guys got quite the crew here. 45 people on. This is killer.
Yeah, well, I promised you a minimum of 30.
Yeah, no
And you
doubt.
make it do it.
Oh,
Yeah, this team's rad. Yeah, we've
no
got a beautiful family here.
awesome. Yeah, sorry about being late, or should I say, I'll say forgive me for being late. Because when I say I'm sorry, then you guys point your finger and say, yeah, you should be sorry. But forgive me for being late. I don't really have a really good excuse, but I'm here now. So let's dive into it.
I think we're all like, the launch is like making everybody like here and there and here and there, and like phones and chats and everything's blowing up, right? So we're with you.
I got a specific Diamond Movement exclusive launch right now, and
I've seen some of your stuff.
It's just nuts. So I did a values training. It started at 6:30. So, and then when I got off, I was trying to click the link. I was clicking the wrong link to get on here. So it even goes to show, even when you know what you're doing, you still screw up all the time. So.
Yep, absolutely. That's probably going to be forever.
The best part is now it's just funny to me.
Yeah. Got to have humility, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so I guess like I was kind of giving you the lowdown, Aaron, in like what I was really like kind of hoping for in terms of like within Ads Manager, like all of the data, all of the metrics that it kind of brings back. So it's like, it's great, we place these ads, but now all of the data comes back, you know, and it's just really like a lot of numbers. And sometimes all of those numbers can be really confusing. We don't really know, like, you know, we've paid for these ads, we may as well make the most out of all of the data. And when there's so many numbers, you know, it's hard to understand like how to read it all and how to really take it and be able to implement it, you know, to its fullest potential. So I guess like maybe in terms of that, like that's where I'd really like to bring more clarity for the group, you know, and just kind of like go over the basics of the inside and like what you look for, and any cool tips and tricks that you know or that you use. We'll take all of the knowledge we can get from you.
Yeah, 100%. So the biggest tip and trick right off the bat when it comes to numbers for ads is get out of your head. It's fucking simple. It's really, really easy. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be, because Facebook has like 64 data points that they pull from. And the only ones that we care about are very few, okay? And especially getting started, the only things that we really want to look at are how much are we paying to acquire a lead. So does everybody in here know what you classify a lead as? If you comment in the chat, let me know. I'll pop the chat up here too. No? Okay. So a lead is a potential, it's a prospect. Okay, so if I say it like prospect, does that make sense? So if we go, a lead is somebody that is potentially going to purchase Global Affiliate Zone. Okay, so I'm going to just...
Everybody, please make sure your microphones are on mute. I'm trying to find you, but I'm not fast enough.
Oh, I can't mute. I'm always ripping through and muting people in my meetings.
Who do we got? Oh, I see it. I see it.
It's all good. So a lead is essentially, it's just a prospect, somebody that's potentially going to buy Global Affiliate Zone. So depending on what type of advertisements you guys are running, there's two types really. There's the type where you'll get people clicking on. Somebody's got a party going on over there. If you find
is that on yours, Sherry? Because you're the only one that I cannot mute.
It looks like it is Eileen.
Oh.
Sorry, Aaron.
It's totally okay. I get
now.
it.
Sorry.
That's all good.
Trisha, too. You need to mute
somebody else.
Sounds like a rodeo over there. That's okay. I like rodeos. So, so essentially a lead's a prospect. So somebody that's going to potentially buy GAZ. So there's two different types of ads that we run. Okay. So in Facebook Ads Mastery, right, there is conversions that they teach. So conversions is the main type. And conversions is how we create the most automation by leveraging Global Affiliate Zone system. Okay. So that's where you use your website, your domain, And we set that up in the Ads Mastery where it forwards to our landing page. So the registration page for the web class or the webinar, okay? And that's taught through Facebook Ads Mastery. So when somebody clicks on that link in your ad and then they put in their name and their email, now they're a lead. They're a potential they're a prospect, because now they're going to be getting emails from Global Affiliate Zone saying, hey, come check out the web class. Hey, you missed it. Come watch the replay. Hey, it's playing, right? So when they watch that, they have the potential of buying. So that's a lead. So the most important thing that we want to be watching for is how much are we paying to get them? That is the number one thing to focus on. Now, when I started, we didn't have these goofy things called pixels, or we didn't really use them. So if anybody has heard the term pixel before, I mean, you probably know more about it than I do already. Because when I started, I thought a pixel was a picture. So my sponsor was like, hey man, send me your pixel. And I set up my ads manager and I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to take a nice headshot of myself. And I sent him a picture of myself because it has so many pixels in it, right? Like the pixels. That's not what a pixel is. I found that out. So the pixel is what's tracking everybody that goes through everything with your sales funnel. When they go check out your landing page, they click on your ads, they watch your ads, everything. That's where these data points come from that Facebook tracks. Okay, it's from your pixel. Now, with our pixels before, we didn't have tracking to see how much we were paying per lead at first until they got to a certain point. So what we watched for at first was link clicks. So the way that it works, and depending on where you are in your business and where you are with running ads, the first thing that you want to focus on is making sure that you're getting ads out there. That's number one, right? And testing them. And we'll go into that a little bit too. Number two is making sure that it's relevant to the people you're sending it to, okay? Because what will happen over time, because sometimes we can get really cheap leads, but our ad isn't relevant to our audience. So a perfect example of what that would be, which I'm pretty confident that you guys aren't doing this. However, there was people that used to do this. And a good example of that would be you shooting an ad video or writing an ad out in English and running that ad in like China, right? Where it's completely irrelevant to them. They don't even understand what the hell you're talking about because they don't speak English. However, in places like, well, China probably not because they're communist and I don't even think they have Facebook, but say a third world country or something like that. When you get cheap views and it's cheap to get your ads out. Well, you could get really cheap leads from that. But the problem is they're going to be no good, right? It's not relevant to them. So your relevancy is number one. So when you're putting your ads out there, making sure that it's relevant to people over time. And there's a column, and we can even go in there and I can show you guys how to set them up. There's a column that is based on relevancy. And it's out of 1 to 10. 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Okay? So that's something that you want to always pay attention to when you're building your ads. Because if your ad isn't relevant to the person, then if you keep doing it over and over time, it's going to hurt your ads. It's going to hurt your Facebook page, right? And you're just not going to get quality people. Does that make sense so far? Let me know if that's making sense so far, guys. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So, and relevancy is something you can watch at all times. So whether you're just started an ad, usually it takes usually about $5 to $10 spent on it to get a relevancy score. But that's something you should always be watching. And you access that through the ad level, and I'll show you guys that in a second. The next thing that's most important is depending on what type of ad you're running. So if you're running a conversion style, then the purpose of that is for them to click on a link and go watch the web class, right? If you're running a type of ad to get people to engage with you, and I'll fill you guys in on a wicked little secret that'll change everything if you do run ads like that. And we'll get at that at the end. If I don't remember, remind me, because it's badass. Really important to know. The second type of ad is something where you're getting people to engage with you. So whether that's to comment on the video or to comment on the post or to message you privately. Depending on what type of personality you have, depending on how much time you have, depending on your communication skills, which can always be learned, you can always be growing those, because when I started this business, I was a complete idiot. I couldn't speak to people properly. I didn't know how to explain the business. I was just grasping at straws. But the best part was I failed so many times that I learned every single way how not to do it. So now I'm a boss at closing, right? So always remember that too. If you're scared about it, then you should probably do it, because you're going to be a better person in the end, right? But if it comes to a place like for me now, I don't want to talk to as many people. I love talking to people and getting them in on the business, but I don't want to talk to as many people anymore because I don't have the time, because I need to be focusing that time on other things, right? So it depends on where you are with your business. Now, that's the second type of ad, is to get people to engage with you. So sending you a message or commenting for more info. Anytime somebody sends you a private message from an ad, the ad will physically track it. So when that happens, that's considered to be a lead as well. It's a prospect, right? There's a person on the other end, and they're interested in what you got. And in my opinion, this is how I scaled and grew my business so quickly, as well as my whole team. We all use this tactic. Is basically on customer service is the principle, right? Being there, chatting with people, understanding who they are, building something called rapport, right? Understanding their faults and their problems and showing them that they can fix them, and you have a solution for it, right? Remember, everything that we do with GAZ, it is our service. We are doing people a disservice by not selling them into this business. And depending on where you are with your mindset and with your business, depending on if you've convinced yourself if this is the right thing or not, I encourage you to take that time for yourself, because it's important to convince yourself that this is the right decision, right? Because I had to take that time too. But when you come to that final point of realizing that this was the best decision for you, it is your duty to tell as many people as possible. Because in my opinion, it's pretty selfish if you don't share that with as many people as possible, right? However, that's also a value of mine. So it depends on what your values are, okay? Just my opinion. So some feedback with that. So remember, it's our job, it's our due diligence to serve people, right? In my opinion. And the easiest, best way to do that is to get them in with GAZ. Because I jumped on and I jumped off there for a second, and I heard somebody talking about some wins, and it sounded pretty powerful to me. Coming from a place in their life where they were just like, I didn't know, and now they're stoked. Now they're happy. They're feeling fulfilled. They're feeling inspired, right? Could you imagine doing that for everybody? Can you imagine how different everything would be, right? We have a lot of power here. So depends on what types of ads you're running. However, obviously you can tell I'm pretty passionate about communicating with people, right? So with that being said, if somebody messages you privately, your ad will track that, and it'll go, tell you that it happened. That's a lead, and that's a better lead to me, because now you have a direct line of communication right to their Facebook, rather than them just hiding behind an email and sending something in, maybe putting in a fake email or a fake name, right? Best prospects are people that reach out to you personally, in my opinion, okay? The other type as well is if somebody comments. They comment more info, or I'm interested, or I'd like to learn more. And then you send them a message from your page and you start a conversation with them. That's also classified as a lead. Does that make sense? So there's three types of leads. People that sign up through your webinar, people that comment on your posts and you reach out to them and start a conversation, or people that message you privately first through your ads. And Facebook will track all three of those, okay? So from there, that's the next piece is you want to understand how much am I spending? How much is it costing me to acquire a lead, comment, message, or somebody sign up to a webinar? Our goal for everybody, because we know 100% if you can do this in Canada, United States, Australia, or the UK, right? Or the main countries. I don't know if there's any other ones, but those are kind of the main ones. If you can acquire leads for $2 to $3 per lead, you will make money. Period. End of story. Unless you don't work on your sales. But even with that, if they're commenting and sending you a message and all you do is just send them the link to your domain continuously, it's not going to be the most efficient way or the most profitable way. But even with that, if you're getting $2 to $3 leads and you just did that, over time, you will make money. It's proven. It's just numbers, just how it works. Okay? Because on average, it's usually around 50 to 75 leads per global affiliate zone sale. That's if you don't talk to them at all. That's if you just hope that they click on that link and watch a webinar, right? There should be no reason over time that you can't get that to 1 in 10, right? Especially when you get your audiences down and your ads running really well. And that's crazy, right? So if you're spending $2 a lead and 1 out of every 10 buys into Global Affiliate Zone, right? That's what? $20 per $99 sale. You're profiting on the front end. You're profiting on a Global Affiliate Zone sale. That's insanity, right? And myself and my team have got to that point where we can actually profit from the front end. Where if we wanted to, if we could duplicate ourselves, right, and have a process in place, we could profit and make money just by selling GAZ alone. Just off the first sale. And on average, you have a 3 to 6 month subscription time. I know that doesn't sound as pretty as you would think, but there's a lot of people that jump in and they'll pay and they'll watch, then they'll jump out for a bit, then they'll jump back in and then they'll buy, right? So as we tracked on average, 3 to 6 months. So now you're profiting massively if you're only spending $20 per front end sale, right? It's huge. You can't even make that kind of money selling drugs. Profit margins are big. And that's just the front end, not counting Enagic sales. Because when you start to grow with the Enagic sales side of things and you start getting to 2A, 3A, 4A, double down under yourself to be able to make 8 points, it's insane. To be able to earn 50% profit margins in anything is insane. And there's people like myself that have been able to hit 90% and higher overall for the year. That's what's possible for everybody here, right? I think drugs are about 45% if you do bulk. Not saying that I looked into it ever in my life, but just saying. I watched Narcos or whatever. So that's pretty crazy, right? Considering, not to mention with our businesses, the tax write-offs you can get, right? When we market the way that we do with the lifestyle side of things, right? My snowmobile, my riding gear, my safety equipment, my GoPro action cameras, my pickup truck, my sled deck on my truck, kilometers, fuel, lunch when I go to the mountain, hotels, travel when we go to events. Every single event we go to is 100% write-off because it's education, right? The hotels for that kind of stuff. It's insanity. You guys are sitting on a friggin' gold mine. Just in case you guys didn't know that yet. So that's really where it's at. So first things first, you want to get your ads out there. You want to test ads and find an audience that likes it. And then from there, you want to tweak it and get your leads to $2 to $3. If you can get it to $2 to $3, that's huge. And then from there, just work it, test it. Try different ways of selling, right? I recommend don't mention an adject. That's just me because it saved me a lot of time. I learned that the hard way though, so that's up to you guys. I learned that the hard, and it depends on what your values are. When I got into the business, what attracted me was the business model and the availability to ride my snowmobile. So that's the audience that I attract. If you guys purchased in because of the product itself, then that's, you know, something to test, right? On how, if you're going to be communicating with people. Just keep in mind, it's going to take you a lot more time to be explaining that stuff, right? Letting the system do it is way more powerful, in my opinion. So from there, you're getting leads now. So now, as you who in here is been getting leads for under $5? Yeah, got a couple people. Cool. Has anybody got to leads around $2 to $3? Is there some people in here? Yeah, a couple.
2 cents per post engagement.
Is that on how much per post engagement?
2 cents.
Okay. From now on, never fucking look at that ever again. Post engagements, I don't care. Because you could have like half a cent post engagements, but never get a single lead, right? And that's where I'm going with, and that's where I'll lead you in with this, that nothing matters except for what you're paying per lead. Until you get to a place where you're duplicating global affiliate zone sales. So is there anyone in here that's getting global affiliate zone sales, say, once every 2 weeks, once every week, even twice or 3 times a week? Is there anyone in here doing that? Anyone? Started 2, now it's 7. Oh, for lead costs? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
everybody feel free to speak up as well too. You could be interactive, you know, if there's somebody that's got their hand, because there's a couple of screens, so we can't see everybody on the back screens as well too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and even blasting in the chat or even just popping out and saying, yeah, 100%. Because then I can know where I can go with this. And
I just want to make sure I know what I'm looking for here in Ads Manager, okay? So like when I'm in there, is it going to say cost per lead or cost per result? That's the one you're looking at, right?
Cost per lead. Okay, let's go do that first. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you guys what to look at. How about that? Is that a good place to start? Okay, cool. Can you guys see my screen right now? Yeah, okay. Okay. Now keep in mind, I haven't been running my own ads for a while, so this will be fun to see. So depending on what type of ad you're running, oh, and remind me in the end, it's time to start testing different things. If you guys are running post engagements, we're going to start testing different types of ads because post engagements are dying. They're a dying breed because Facebook changed the algorithm. So they're always changing things. So the types of ads that we run, so that's a very important point to write down, and make sure you guys remind me, and we'll go into that a little bit. Post engagements used to be the thing to do. It was a tactic. It was a tactic that I leveraged and my whole team leveraged. Right now, last meeting, I was been chatting with some Facebook guys, and we're gonna stop teaching post engagements soon. We're gonna pull away. So let's see here. I'm gonna try to set up my screen here properly. Can you guys still see everything? Yeah, okay. Okay, so what I'm doing right here, and this is something for you guys, for those of you that are going to Toronto, you'll understand this stuff because I'm doing something called a $1 a day strategy. However, I'll see if I can find one of my ads that I was running. Versions. So we'll look at a post engagement one that I had. I'm gonna have to enlarge my screen, so I won't be able to see you guys. So when if I ask a question, or if I need to slow down or anything, just speak up. Was that the one? So I'll show you guys how to set up columns here too, which these aren't set up. So let's do that first. So here's where you'll go, guys. You'll go to, I'll get out of here just to make sure you've seen all this stuff. My computer is getting beat up right now. It's going slow. So you'll go to columns, click on the drop-down menu, and oh, I do have them set up. But for you guys to set them up, let's just walk through this. So we'll do this first. And this will cover everything, no matter if you're running engagement style of ads to get people to comment or if you're running conversions, okay? So you'll go to Customize Columns. Click on that. And just delete everything. And we'll start right from the top. Okay? So what we'll do is we'll go reach. Because there's something with ads, usually it takes, it's starting to change again, but usually around 500 to 800 people reached is when you'll start getting some of your data to populate in the columns. Because it takes time for Facebook to gather enough to even give you any numbers, okay? Delivery is a good one to have, so you know if your ad's turned on or turned off and it's actually delivering to your audience. In this column, sometimes it'll tell you if it's like you have too much text or it's still learning, and we can explain that, or you know if it's been shut down. Okay, so delivery is good. Relevance score. Okay, so this is rating from 1 to 10 that estimates how well your target audience is responding to your ad. And then I always like to look at this too. I like to look at amount spent and amount spent today, because I just like to use that to do my own little math, and I'll show you guys a little trick. From there, you're gonna go down and you're gonna go post comments, because like I said before, right? A comment is a lead. Comments are good. And then why not have them break down how much you're paying per each comment? Let Facebook do the math for you. Cost per post comment, okay? Next, new messaging conversations. So these are the people that have seen your ad and they send you a private message. So it'll track that. It knows if they came from that ad. And then of course, cost per new messaging conversation. So let Facebook do the math, right? We'll keep going down, 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 down. Down, down, down. So now we get to our pixel. So then we want website leads. So we're running conversion style ads, or we're sending our landing page or the webinar link or whatever you want to call it through the chat. We can see who actually signs up as well. And then we'll go down just to have them in order. We'll go cost per website lead. And then we'll also do, this is for long term, later on down the road, this is the be all end all number. Once you're getting leads and you're getting sales, this is what you'll start focusing on when you're spending money on ads. When you guys get to that place where you're spending, maybe you're spending $20, $50, $100, friggin' $1,000 a day, right? And now instead of looking at leads, you could look at what you're paying per website purchase, because that's really the ultimate number, right? So then you'll go cost per website purchase as well, okay? And that's it. From there, you're gonna click Save as Preset. Am I going too fast, guys? Or is this good? Can you let me know? Anyone there?
Yeah, it's good.
There-
I'm
Okay.
good.
That'd
Okay.
be good.
Okay, so then you'll click Save as Preset, and then you'll just put a name. So you can put Aaron's Awesome Columns. Yeah. And then you'll go Apply. And now it'll be saved in here. Oops. So then you can always pull it up. Okay? So now, if I find one of my ads that I was running for a while, something that I spent about, there we go. There's a conversion style ad that I ran for like a year. So let's look at that. So now, and here's one thing as well. So when we want to look at the relevancy score, you won't see it in this section, in the campaign section, and you won't see it in the ad sets section. You will see it at the ad section. And this is where it tells you. See that? My relevancy score was good. 10, 10, 10, 8. That's still okay. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So that means that my ad was relevant to my audience. So that helps your ads perform. It helps you get quality leads. It makes sure that you don't have people that are saying hide and giving negative comments. And it boosts your page relevancy score, which is something that we can't physically see. We just have to guess at. But the higher our page relevancy score, the better, because it's going to reach, our stuff is just going to organically reach more people. And free is great, right? Because Facebook is focusing on making sure that every user has the best user experience. So that's why they have rules and regulations on their ads. And they give you a boost if you're bringing out good content that the platform likes, because they're like, thank you, here's cheaper ads, because you're keeping our users on here more, which is making us all more money in the big picture. Win-win. Okay, so if we look at that, so this was my one that worked really well for a while. So look at that, cost per comment, $5.51, okay? And website leads. Because how I would, I'm just going to pop off so I can see your guys' faces for a second. Now this is where it comes down. There's a couple little factors in this, okay? And I'm going to show you some really cool math, and it's all dependent on how you run your ads. So, if, for example, you had a link on your ad and you were sending people to the web class, and then they commented on your post or sent you a message, and the only thing that you were focused on doing was just getting them to the web class, right? Your goal was to just take that person and be like, yeah, you should check out our next class, and send them the link, right? Good, bad, right, or wrong, it's okay. If that's what you were doing, then you do not calculate your comments as leads, because you're not actively attempting to sell them. Does that make sense? You're just trying to send them to a web class. So the only number that you're going to be calculating is your website leads. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Now, if you're like me and you just have the link in there for people that are too scared to reach out, and you shoot videos or write story ads where you're more framing it around comment for more info and chat with me personally, send me a private message and I'll chat and explain how I've done it, and you're more pushing towards that call to action, but you leave them an option of the web class to be like, or, you know, if you just don't want to talk to me because you don't like me, that's cool too. You can click on the link, right? Because that's how I build my ads, because I know I'm more powerful at selling personally than the webinar is. So in that case, every person that comments or reaches out to me, I'm actively selling. I'm not sending them to the web class. I'm putting my time in. I'm messaging them. I'm, calling them, getting on the phone with them, doing video chats with them, and sending them a buy button to get into the business, right? And like I said, if that seems intimidating, I get it. Because when I started, I failed so many times. Every day after work, I would do video meetings for 2 hours with people. And I would be stupid enough to get into all of the details because I had no spine, and I like not no spine, but I just had no footing. So when somebody would go, well, what are you selling? And I'd be like, blah. Okay, I'll tell you, right? Rather than figuring out ways to explain and frame around the fact that, hey, man, you know, it's not that I want to keep it a secret. It's just that when you actually pay, now you're going to pay attention. We've done a lot of marketing and advertising, and it's not that I want to keep it a secret. It's just I want to value your time as well as value my own, because it's going to take me at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to break it down to you. And then this way, if I explain it all to you now, you're just going to have to learn it all over again when you go in. So I want to value your time, as well as when you go in, you're going to see it through video. You can replay it. You can take notes, right? And maybe it'll change. It's not gonna, but there's tons of different ways that you can leverage around that, right? Of just being like, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, I get it, right? And a good one that I do is I always just go, when you pay attention, and it's just proven, because it's $99, right? And we've just found that when people put a little bit of skin in the game, they actually take time to pay attention to everything instead of just skimming through. Right? So I want to make sure that you're focused and dedicated before we both invest a whole bunch of time, right? So if you're like me and you just leave that link there for people to go, I count those as leads still, because whenever somebody comments or messages to me, I'm actively, shooting little videos to send to them, or walking them through different sequences, or qualifying them in certain ways with certain questions. There's a whole bunch of different things that I've always done and tested. Okay. And then when that happens, you take a total of all of those numbers to figure out what you're paying per lead. And I'll show you right now. And we'll see how much I was paying per lead on that ad, because I'm actually curious. So if we go here, this is a simple little math trick. So it's called the law of, not the law of averages, but it's how to figure out average. So you take the total comments, so 379. So I'm going to look at what I was paying per lead cost overall. So 379 plus 202. Okay. And then we can see here if, oh yeah, and I didn't have any new message comments from that. Okay, they would just comment on it and go from there. So pull out my trusty phone calculator here. 379 plus 202 equals 581. So right here, it's telling me that I'm spending $5.51 per comment, right? And here, like, that's horrible. If we just looked at it linear on like two-dimensional and said, man, you're paying $10.35 a lead. Why are you running and spending so much money on that ad? Well, because of how I sell, because of how I run my ads, I take the total of those, and then I take the total amount spent. So I go 2,090.15 cents divided by 581. There you go. So I paid on average $3.60 a lead. That's pretty good, right? I'm stoked on that. And that ad alone, probably that, like this specific ad alone, I think this is the one, made me like $200,000 alone. Just this ad. Once I got it working, you're one ad away from $10,000 months. After I tested and done a bunch of different tests with this, right? You can see a bunch of tests here. And I did a whole bunch of different style of campaigns, and then I got one to work. One ad away from $10,000 a month. You may have heard somebody else say that before, but you're going to hear it from me too, because it's totally fucking true, right? And then that ran literally for over a year and just brought me leads. So over time, and it's depending on where you guys get your business. So if you're not getting the lead costs and stuff like that and generating lots of GAZ sales, don't pay as much attention to this, but I'm just going to cover this quick. So now with this, the reason that I was okay with spending $3.60 a lead was because this was the be-all, end-all that I'm looking for. I'm looking for sales, right? And really in the big picture, to really scale and grow our businesses to the maximum, which we're about to get access to soon, is tracking the back-end sales, so tracking global affiliate zone sales. So when we know how much we're paying per sale in the back end, and we can take an average of every product that we sell, right, when we get there, then we can really scale and grow our businesses. Then it gets nuts, right? Because with this factor, this is the next factor we could track. So I'm sitting here, and with this one, I was okay with this because I was spending $90.88 per global affiliate zone sale. That might sound a little bit crazy because you're like, well, man, you only make $29.70, right? First off, that's Canadian, so it's play money, so it's pretty much equal. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, you're like, well, front end is $29.70. That sounds insane. Over time, it's always going to work because guess what? One of those website purchases, even though I spent $90 to get them, depending on what rank you are, if you're a 2A, right, you just got started, if you paid $90 for that and they bought a trifecta, well, there's $1,200 in your pocket. Profit all day, right? That's like 90% profit margin right there. It's insane, right? So really, in a numbers game, like Julian, for example, he's okay with spending $400 per website purchase. You guys utilize the tactics and stuff like that and learning how to sell and obviously watch your numbers a lot closer than Julian because Julian just comes out of the woodworks and spends money, right? But he knows because of the numbers that it's always going to work, right? And by being willing to spend $300 to $400 per global affiliate zone sale, that seems insane. But the conversion on an Enagic sale is always there. So he's always making money, right, at really good margins. So that's just, I just wanted to break that down for awareness. Understand that if you've spent $200, $300, $400, $500 on ads, $1,000 on ads, $4,000 on ads, don't get discouraged. Just stay consistent and focus on the first thing. And the first thing is getting cheap leads. And continue doing that over and over and over. Consistency is key in this game. Because then on the back end with our coaches, right, I'm not sure what their ratio is now. We haven't got the data on it. But they're closing a lot of the sales, right? Say if they were only closing 10% of the sales, right? It's still always going to work out. I know it's a lot higher than that. Let's say if worst case scenario, right? So that's just for a little awareness side. So did that give you guys some value on seeing how to set up your columns and a bit of an understanding?
Absolutely,
so,
yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. See, like you look at stuff like this, like $18 per front end sale, right? It's possible to do, but you know, that's why the first thing you focus on is always your lead costs. Getting leads, cheap leads, okay? And then once you start to generate back-end or GAZ sales, and you get 10, 15, 20, and that starts to grow and starts to grow and starts to grow, now you're going to start understanding what your audience likes with your ads. You'll be able to see which ones are the sales are coming from because you'll look at cost per website purchase. You'll start to see. And then you might find out, just saying it's possible, that you'll see maybe an ad that's getting $1.50 lead costs, but you're spending a ton of money to actually acquire a sale. And then maybe you'll see another one that you tested out and you ran for a bit and you're spending $5 a lead or $6 a lead. But all of a sudden you look at the front end sale and you're only spending $80, $100, right? $10, right? Never know. Always make sure that numbers are duplicating before you take it as gospel as well. So make sure that you see at least 3 or 4 before you really start to be like, okay, this is working. Because you can always have one pop out of nowhere, right? And you'll get a lead. And then always just pay attention to your ads while you're testing, right? And watch. So
can I ask you a quick question just while we're on the screen here? So see up on the, that's okay. When you're looking at your numbers, you see how it has like the lifetime view, or you can also change that into like the last 7 days. Yes. Generally, when you're looking at your numbers, do you leave that on the last 7 days to get a more accurate reading, or do you put it on lifetime?
Absolutely. Always check in increments of days. So you'll actually go here. So thanks for bringing that up. So, you know, I don't know when I shut this ad off, but I'd have to say, like, say you wanted to see, what is it? June, July. So let's go like, so we'd say like March, the week of March. So say it was like March 7th right now. You want to just check the last 5 days or 7 days or 3 days, if whatever it is, right? But yeah, you're totally right. And then you can see if you're starting to spend more or you're starting to spend less, right? And you can always watch that. So yeah, 100%. So from there, where would you guys like to go? Did I communicate that well to you guys? Was it too much, not enough?
I got a quick question for you, Aaron.
Absolutely.
How do you know that in Ads Manager that they had a website, like a GAZ purchase?
Oh, that's that one thing that's called cost per, or what was it? Yeah, website purchases and cost per website purchase. What Facebook does with your ads is as soon as somebody engages with it, it tracks them for like, I think on some of them it'll track them for like 7 days. It'll track them for 30 days or whatever.
So it'll actually track them going to the buy link.
100%.
I did not know that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So when we place our Facebook pixel in the Global Affiliate Zone back office, it automatically places code on each piece of our funnel. So what it'll do is it'll place, Facebook will track the ad itself. And then from there, the pixel is placed on the landing page, so where people can register. So that'll be called a page view, or another term is a link click, okay, because they're looking at it. Then when they put their name and their email in, it forwards that person to a thank you page. And on the thank you page, the pixel now says, oh, we got a lead. So it fires, goes bing, lead. Okay. And then from there, when it forwards them to the web class, bing, website view or web class attendant. Right. And then from there, when they click on the button, it goes bing, website checkout initiated. And now you know that the technical side of things, when you guys get to a point where you're building your own funnel completely, now you can know where the bottlenecks are. So that's what's so powerful about that pixel. And then from there, they fill it all out, and then they go boom, and they buy, bing, goes to the next page, and now you have a purchase. Right?
Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. It's super powerful, right? Knowing that. So, and then eventually we'll be able to track all the way to a Nagic because we're starting to get some digital stuff. So it's going to be sweet. So now you know you have to pay attention. You just run stuff and you look at the numbers and hopefully it's tracking right. And it's like, oh yeah, that's good. Spend more money. Right? So from there,
can I ask you something else? Oh, no, go ahead while you're on it.
Go ahead.
While you have your thought before you forget it, you go.
Oh, I was just going to go into start testing different types of ads, quit using post engagements. So if you're actively running post engagements right now, change to conversions. You can use the existing post. Still going to build social proof on the post because you get people liking and commenting and stuff. We have found if your ad is built around a call to action, so you're telling the viewer to do something, that's your call to action. You're telling them to send you a message or comment down below. If you're saying that in there, start testing it and running it as a conversion. Because what Facebook has done is they've changed the algorithm. Because page post engagements were a hack. That's why I ran them for so long, because they were the best ad for everything if you shot a good video or had good copy. Because not only are you getting people to engage with it and react to it, you're getting lots of views on it, you're getting people to comment and send you messages, and you can get people to engage and click on the link. It was just the best all-around ad. But now that Facebook is getting more fine-tuned and they're figuring out, how to isolate to specific objectives, they've changed post engagement. So now we're not getting comments on them anymore. They're just finding people that like to engage by viewing or like to share or like to give it a reaction. Okay. So go to conversions. And then if you are familiar with running ads and you know what a dark post is, does anybody here know what a dark post is? Comment in the chat if you know what a dark post is. Yeah? Dark posts are awesome. Okay. So dark posts mean that you don't post it on your page first. The whole ad is created 100% in Ads Manager. Okay. Oh, you watched my video. How'd you get that? That was exclusive. So dark posts are great. So if you guys have seen that video, that's great. So I won't even need to go into that. Because with that alone, we were going over split testing as well. And we had a really good flow chart for split testing. And that's the power of dark posts. So now you can build 4 different types of ads. And you can see which one's going to work the best. And then when you find the combination that works the best, you can post it to your page. And then you can start testing it by changing the interests now. And you're building social proof because you're getting likes and views and comments. Social proof, people love social proof, right? Prove it. Oh, this guy commented. Okay, I'll comment too. So that's powerful with dark posts. So if you're familiar with dark posts, I don't know. It's a secret, David. You'll have to ask your team where my video is. So with conversions to Messenger, so if you guys are looking to for people to engage, start testing conversions to Messenger. Because Facebook, every objective that you pick, so your campaign level, when you pick the objective, I'm doing sales so much, I always think objections. Objective. Don asks from the team, so the dark post is something that is created without posting it to your page first. So a normal style ad that you've been taught in Facebook Ads Mastery, you create a post on your Facebook page, and then you go into Ads Manager, and then you go and you select that post and you use that and build an ad around it, right? Where dark posts don't get organic reach. They're just paid reach. And they're hidden from your timeline on Facebook, and they're only going to the specific audience that you pick. So the only real benefit to dark posts, in my opinion, is just so you can test a whole bunch of different pictures and copy and different videos without having to post them all in your timeline. And then that way you can test them all with an open audience. So, just Canada and United States are the main countries. And no interests, wide age range, right? And test, and you can just see what do the people like, because it really doesn't fucking matter what you like, it matters what they like, right? Marketing 101. That's why people fail in a lot of affiliate marketing businesses, because they're like, oh well, I really like I like crystals and I like pens and I really like spray bottles. And they're like, I'm going to build affiliate offers around them. And everyone's like, nobody gives a shit about this except for you. Whereas when you can find the audience first, find out what their problem is, and then find a solution for it. That's the best way to market, and that's what we do with GAZ, right? We have a massive audience. 85 to 90% of all North Americans hate their job in some way, shape, or form. Biggest audience in the world.
Aaron?
Yep.
Are you always testing your new ads open?
My guy that I pay is, yeah, yes. He does now. Personally, when I started, now you got to take this with a grain of salt because they have changed a lot of stuff with Facebook. Pixels have been getting smarter. When I started, what I did was I created ads revolving around a specific audience in mind when I created it. So, for example, and you have to be careful when you do this too, because if you're saying specifics in your ad, if you're like, if you're 25 to 28 and live in Kelowna, BC, I got something really cool that you're going to like. And then they're going to be like, oh my God, that's me. You can't do that. Even though we have the power of targeting that, you'll get in trouble. They'll just be like, no, you're taking advantage, right? But if you go like, you know, if you say something like, you know, for me, I would be like, yeah, you know, I'm 28 years old. So then it's kind of like, oh, they're like, oh, me too, right? Or I'm 26. Oh, or I'm 30. I'm just like this guy. And I only target between that age range, right? You know, I used to be in the trades. I was an electrician by trade. I had lots of heavy duty mechanic friends that I always like to go snowmobiling with, saying that kind of stuff in my ad. Well, guess what? I target heavy duty mechanics. That one winning ad that I had, I was targeting diesel and turbo diesels because mechanics like diesel engines. Also, snowmobilers like trucks because they need them to haul their snowmobiles around, right? And usually they're diesels, right? And a lot of snowmobilers are in the trades because they have the money to afford the toys, right? So I would build my ads with my audience in mind. Not super, super specific, but with an audience in mind. So the audience of snowmobiling, backcountry, trades, construction, oil and gas, right? And, you know, maybe mention some stuff about traveling. I've always tested traveling, but it's always sucks for me personally, right? And then I would look at that ad and I'd be like, what should I target? And then I would start split testing from there, okay? That's what I used to do. Facebook's pixel is getting smarter and smarter. But hey, test it, right? Because in my mind, it still logically makes sense. Building ads.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Hey, Aaron, do you always have to target? I mean, in terms of like traveling, example, you always want to pick something in that column when you're targeting?
No.
Or can you just like leave that blank and just do your countries and your age?
Yep, 100%. That's called leaving your targeting open.
Okay.
Yeah, so no interest at all. So that's what you can get away with nowadays on Facebook.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Now with that, if you're leaving your targeting open and say you start getting results like $5 a lead, $6 a lead, right? Well, then you'd be crazy not to start testing it down. Right? So then you leave it running, right? Depending on what your budget is. So $5 a day on that. Say you had a $10 a day budget. You leave $5 a day on that one because it's producing leads. It's getting you results. It's maybe not ideal because it's not as cheap as you want it to be, but you're getting something. So don't shut it off.
Okay.
Always keep things going. I've never had one single day since October 15th of 2016 that I haven't spent at least $5 on ads.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right? Never shut an ad off. Unless you only have a $5 a day budget, okay? Then you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
But if you have room for it, right? If say you have a $5 a day budget, then I would even just do $2.50 per day on that one. And then if you're getting leads on it, and test against it at $2.50.
Oh, okay.
And then build one, and you know if it'll just take longer. Like think about it this way: money compresses time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a bigger budget, it's just going to take you a little bit longer to test. So you got to be a little bit more patient.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
100%.
Good stuff. Thank you.
For sure.
Can I ask you a question?
100%.
Seems I have you here. Like, I feel like that's my biggest problem is, like, I'm not targeting the right people like I work in the mining industry, so like I don't know, I just like what would you target if like you were working in the mining industry? Like I don't know, like I just feel like I'm not picking the right people.
So really, like, how long have you been running one? Have you been making new ads, or have you just got one ad that you've been testing?
Well, the thing is now, like the company that I work with, we were on strike for like 9 weeks. So like my ad budget is like,
Fair enough.
like I had a call with Caitlin yesterday, and like we were just talking about like ways that I can keep going without having to worry about that budget.
Yeah.
So like, she gave me a few suggestions on things to do because like I'm not running any ads, like paid ads at the moment, but I have been doing like the $1 a day boosts and stuff like that. But like when I do get up and running, like I did have 2 ads that were doing pretty good before I went on strike, and but I still feel like I'm not like targeting the right audience. I don't know.
Okay, so question is how often are you creating a new ad or a post that you could turn into an ad?
Pretty often, like
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a few factors that could be in place, and I'll just speak from this, and you can define it for yourself on where you are with it. Okay, just and it's honest feedback. So I'm pretty blunt with everything that I say too. So never take anything personally.
Okay.
Okay, I do this with my team all the time because it makes them like it wakes up too. But and it might not even be pertaining to what's going on. So I'll just give a couple examples. So one thing that I see is people get emotionally attached to ads. So if you're building new ads every day, great, right? Something that I see is people will build an ad because they invested all this time, effort, and energy into it. It was a really hard thing for them to do because they had to get on camera or they had to write something out. And it was just this difficult fucking thing to do, right? And I get it. And what will happen is they will test it. Next thing you know, they've spent $500, $600, $700 on this ad. And they're like, I just can't find the right audience. No, your fucking ad sucks. End of story. Go build another one. Right? People get
How much
Go ahead.
money will you spend testing it before you dump it?
$40.
Okay.
And that's using that flow chart that we were talking about. If you were going to do dark posts, right? And then you do one combination, say it's a story ad. So you have your write-up and a picture, right? You'll spend $5 a day on it. And this is just so you adjust your numbers what fits for you. But just for a baseline example, you have your story ad written out and you have a picture. And you run that for 2 days, for 48 hours. So you spend $10 on it. Okay? And if you only have a $5 a day budget, what you would do is you would run that for 2 days. You would shut it down. Then you would build another dark post with the same story and a different picture. Run it for 2 days, shut it down. Then you do another one. Same story ad, different picture. And you do that 4 times. That's $40 spent, right? And then you go back and you look at it all and you go, which one of those 4, which combination gave me the best results? And results meaning comments, leads, or messages. None of this fucking cost per post engagement or cost per result or cost per link click or cost per view. Nobody fucking cares about that because that doesn't make us money, right? So comments, leads, or messages. If you don't have any of those within the $40 spent, scrap it, start from ground zero, write a whole new story, get a whole new set of pictures, or shoot a new video. Does that make sense? I know that sometimes sucks, but guess what? It's going to be the most beneficial thing that you could ever do because you're going to get better and better and better and better. Or you could hit it off the bat right off the top. Personally, for me, before I even had my products, I had 5 videos shot. And I tested all 5 videos right off the bat. I had no idea what I was doing, but something told me to do it and I did it and it worked. And then what I did is I had one video that produced the best results, so I scrapped everything else and I focused on that one. And I tested it, right? And it was the worst one. It was the one I hated the most. But everyone loved it the most. So that's when I learned don't get emotionally attached to ads because it doesn't fucking matter what you think. It matters what the audience thinks, right? Does that make sense? Does that answer the question pretty good? Cool. So back to that's really the one point of emotionally attached to it, right? And I've done that before too, where I've spent like $400, $500 on an ad, and I'm just like, it's gonna fucking work. It's gonna work because I loved it so much, and it never does. And then finally, I just got to rip the Band-Aid off. Don't do what I do. It sucks. It's a waste of money. Learn from my mistakes, right? The other piece that could be happening. So if you're building, if you are actively building a ton of ads, I can't remember who asked the question because I couldn't see your name.
It was Shiloh.
Yeah.
Shiloh? Okay, Shiloh. So, hey. You're hiding somewhere. So if you're producing new ads every couple days, like, or every couple whatever, like how often do you think you're doing it?
Definitely like every couple of days I definitely put something new out there. But like I said, like my ads budget is just not there right now. So like I've just been like boosting pretty much. And like Caitlin did excuse me, Caitlin did send me like a copy and paste, and she was like, use this, like it's doing really good for me. She's like, and whatever. And like I think I boosted that yesterday and I did exactly what she said. And like I just feel like it doesn't happen for me. Like I'm like, I use the same ad, I use the same picture, and like I pick all the same things, and I'm just like, okay, like somebody gonna comment? Like, I don't know.
Are you practicing gratitude every single day?
Every single day.
You are?
Every day. Oh yeah.
Okay. So are you in the magic?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have a journal?
I do.
So I'm not going to make you do this, but you could go and get your journal and show me the last 10 days right now. No problem.
Oh, totally.
Okay, good. So the next step, how to go deeper with that, what I would focus on, if you aren't already, is making sure you're practicing it completely, like writing your 10 things out and following the full day practice, like doing exactly what it tells you in the book. And then this is the power that I found, and this is getting off of the tactical strategy stuff. This is the hokey pokey universal stuff that I really love too. I just say that because that's how I used to be, so I just kind of frame it that way. Now, when you say thank you and when you read your gratitude, like this is what I started doing, and it was super powerful. Read it, and when you say thank you 3 times, take a huge deep breath in, close your eyes, and on your exhale, say thank you, thank you, thank you. And every time you say it, imagine that thing that you're being thankful for. Picture it in your mind. And imagine, what I do is I imagine it just like pulsing with light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Or another thing that I do, if I just want to be grateful for what's going on, that I woke up, I'll do that, and I'll just imagine, and I'll see how far I can reach out. Imagining, I think of where I am in Kelowna, and I imagine how far I can, like, you ever see those movies where like the aliens shoot a laser onto the earth, and it's like, when it shoots that big, like that shockwave, like that kind of shit. Imagine you're creating a shockwave when you close your eyes, when you're saying thank you, and it's just your gratitude and your love just blowing up every time, and see how far you can reach with it every single time, and compete and repeat it over and over, and thank you, and blow it up bigger and bigger.
Holy crap. Okay.
Practice that. It's fun shit. And shit starts to work.
All right.
And if anyone on here thinks that was the craziest, weirdest shit ever, we'll start doing it and then come talk to me. Because things will start to change in your life. I don't care what you believe in.
Magic is real.
Yeah. Even if you just believe, honestly, if you believe in the power of the mind and you don't believe in any higher power, whatever, good, bad, right, or wrong, doesn't matter. Even just the simple fact of that, it's scientifically proven how much it's going to change your neurological pathways in your brain, period. Your energy levels, how you digest proteins, how your body heals itself, fucking everything. Pretty cool shit. So another piece that I would look into is maybe how much engagement do you usually get on a post? How many likes do you have on your page?
I get like a huge amount of likes. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's crazy like how many likes and stuff I get. But then like when I go through like my notifications, I'm like it's just all likes and there's like no engaging and like there's way too many likes for me to be like, hey, like thanks for liking my because like I'd be there all day.
So do you invite each one of those people to your page?
Most people actually like my page before I even have a chance to.
Okay, so maybe start looking at the targeting of just targeting friends and friends of friends.
Okay.
Work on that, and you'll start switching.
That's what
Caitlin does.
The copy and paste that Caitlin sent me yesterday. That's what she told me to do. Actually, was to target friends and friends of friends.
Yeah, and then
but like it's only been one day, so like I just need to have some patience and just ride it out and see how it goes.
And also something maybe to consider is, this is a brilliant statement that I've heard, is your income is directly proportionate to the amount of value you bring to a marketplace. So if you don't have the funds to have an ad budget, start figuring out how to bring value to people. The more you give, the more you get.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. So we'll see.
Are you staying on a specific topic?
Well, I've been posting a lot about like my animals lately. Like only because I got a new cat and like I've got a lot of like people watching me and stuff. And like I'm having like a whole lot of fun with it and like people enjoy it and whatever and like I throw the launch in there every now and then, but like I don't like I come across like I try not to be too businessy. Like I try to be a little more personal and then I just want my audience to like me and get to know me and feel comfortable and whatever. And I feel like I'm doing a good job in that aspect, so.
You also can't run a business and serve people unless you make money too. So it's okay to be businessy.
Okay.
If you aren't, then you can't serve anybody. Right? So always remember that too. That was something I've learned in business is it's okay to do that kind of stuff every once in a while too. Sometimes people just need that. Maybe they're not getting the message completely. Sometimes. Okay. But that's not saying like with that, you got to use your thermostat with that. Sometimes like when I do $1 a day kind of stuff, I'm bringing straight value, no call to action. I'm not saying if you want to check out what I do every single post, I don't do that. Right. If you're wanting to build the like, knowing, trust, I'll have like on my page, I think for the most part, everything that I'm posting is more or less just value based. Since the launch, I've been doing a lot of call to action, but value based stuff and then find out what the marketplace likes. And then if they're like, they really love your new dog or they loved a really cool picture somewhere and it had some beautiful colors, or they really loved the picture of you in your basement. Hopefully you're not posting that anyway. But if that's the case, and then it's like, well, that's what they like. So focus more on that and figure out how to build around that. Right. So that's a couple different angles that I would give you. So did you get any value from that at all?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
100%. Cool. Do we want to go any deeper with any of the column stuff or anything like that? How are you guys doing? Are you guys brain dead yet, or?
Erin, can I actually ask you a quick question, Erin? And I have to apologize. Hi, everybody. First of all, I have to apologize. I missed the beginning. So if you guys have covered this, huge apologies. But it's something that's come up a few times that people have been asking me. And now, not that long ago, maybe about a month or two ago, Ash, maybe you remember this, when there was a lot of talk about warming up your pixels. And so, Erin, what did you end up getting out of that? I mean, we did a lot of research. We looked into it. Is there anything, you know what I'm talking about when I say that, Erin?
Yeah.
So should we be doing something different than we're doing, like running it? Like now you're saying that you're to throw the engagement out, but would we maybe, especially someone who's just coming on, warming up their pixel for the first time, because we have a lot of newbies in here.
Here's the thing. I can't give honest feedback on that because I don't know 100% with like backing data. I can just talk from a logical standpoint. And a lot of the times the logical side is true, but I can't test it because I've been blessed to have one ad account the whole time. I've never had an issue. So I've never had to, I've been super blessed with that. So I've never had to train a pixel. Something that we've heard, and it's just hard to say because we don't have data on it, and I've attempted to test it, but I can't test it with a trained pixel, is if you do something like traffic style ads first, what it's going to do is it's going to fire your pixel a whole bunch, because what Facebook's looking for is it's looking for people that are they're going to give you more traffic. So traffic meaning people that are just going to show up and look at your landing page, because that's a common action that person in particular does. So we have heard that from some Facebook resources. Who knows if they're smart or not, because sometimes and this is the funny thing, I don't know that much about Facebook ads at all. It's such a rabbit hole. But then I'll get on the phone with a Facebook rep that's supposed to teach me how to run ads, and I'll tell them some stuff and they'll be like, oh, wow, yeah, that's a great idea. We never thought about doing that. So it's hard to really, you got to take their info as a grain of salt too. But something that I am actively working on with some new buyers, I'm going to use them as kind of test dummies, which I sort of feel guilty on, but it'll be better for everyone in the long term. They just don't know. They just don't know what I'm doing with them. But I'm going to do traffic first. So we're going to do like traffic to Messenger first. So there's no domain on it, because sometimes we found in the past, way back when, there's like 2 or 3 months out of the year where Facebook's just a complete dick. And they're like, oh, domain, bing, flagged, and we don't know why. It's just like they have like these like Facebook ad shutdown parties, and they just sit there drinking wine in the office. They're like, oh, look at this one. We don't know. And we're assuming that's what it is. But what I've found throughout my journey is people that use a domain right off the bat, when it's that special little time of the year and they, break some ad policies a couple times, Facebook is like, they're just dinks. So what we would do is we stopped running the domain until somebody got like around $100 spent in their ad account. And we would just do a likes campaign style thing, spend $35. And then we would do, before post engagements were shitty, we'd do post engagement with just like comment. And then when they would comment, they would just send them the domain till they spent some money. And then we would go to conversions. But what we've been doing, so to avoid the domain right off the bat, we'll do traffic to Messenger. Instead of conversions to Messenger, it's traffic to Messenger. And then after they get up to around, $80 to $100, then we would go to conversions to Messenger. So that's what I'm going to start testing with some new members now. Because now traffic, it's just sending lots of people. It's firing the pixel, bing, 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 lots of ones. And then once it's fired a whole bunch, then we turn them over to traffic to Messenger or conversions to Messenger. And then it's going to find better people.
That kind of leads me to my second question that I'm hoping you haven't already answered, Aaron. And by the way, thank you so much for coming. Ashley, it was awesome to bring Aaron tonight. And just from what I've heard, I have to go back and take some notes. So it's been fantastic, Aaron. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Your conversion to Messenger that you were talking about, is there a way to, with a current ad, so a current ad that maybe isn't running anymore, you've turned it off, but it's a post on your page, can you go in, can you convert it from like website conversions to messenger conversions without losing all of the engagement on it?
Probably not.
Okay. I haven't found a way to do it yet.
You can check. So one thing you could try to do is if it allows you to put a button on it, because it probably won't let you go edit it, right? One thing you could test is if I was able to do this back in the day. This was a little hack that I did. So check it out. Make sure that you note all of your data on it. So you know the audiences that were performing well on it or whatever, or if you had any. Then delete every single ad and every single campaign out of your ads manager pertaining to that post only, right? You don't want to delete everything because you don't want to lose all of your information, but just delete the ones using that post and then go back to your page and see if you can edit it. I have been able to do that in the past. Whether they allow you to do it anymore, I don't know. So if it does work, please let me know, because I haven't checked that out. But the next thing is, if a lot of the times you can't put a button on it after it's got so much social proof, it works still. I just did it. Awesome. There you go. So that is a workaround that you could potentially do. So let me know how it goes. I have a ton of different ideas on how I used to do it and how you could. So if you go in, delete it all out, delete anything in the ads manager pertaining to that, go to it on your page, click to edit, delete the domain.
There's no domain. There is no domain on it.
Oh, so you had a button on it before?
I actually set it up wrong and it converted really well anyway. So I just left it and I just let it run because it was converting so well. But now, I mean, all my data's off because I was actually getting, I was getting amazing messages from it and really high quality leads. But it just wasn't set up converting to Messenger. So.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So
I will try that, and thank you.
Yeah. So what you could do, so there's two ways to get it to go conversion to Messenger. Like, here's the thing: you can't take conversions to Messenger. You cannot use existing posts with conversions to Messenger. It won't allow you. They haven't allowed it yet. But a workaround that we have started to test, and keep in mind, we don't have solid data. This is logical stuff. Okay. Because a conversions objective is to get people that are more likely to convert into a lead or into a website purchase, whatever you pick. So sending you a message is pretty much the same thing as if somebody was going to click on a domain. It's the same attribute, right, in somebody's actions. So you go conversions to website and then see if you can put a send message button on the ad. If you can't, then you edit it and you go m.me/ your username for your page. And that's actually the website. That's like the short domain that people can click on to message you directly. That was a workaround that I did with post engagements to leverage. So if you want to find that, go to your page, go into settings, go into Messenger settings or Messenger something, and it'll give you the link in there. If you have ManyChat, it'll be posted in your ManyChat on your dashboard as well. If it's just a bunch of numbers, then go to your home page on your page, like on your Facebook page, and underneath your profile picture, it'll say an @ sign, and click on that and you can edit it to whatever you want it to say for your handle, it's called. Does that make sense?
Can I ask you where you're putting that? The m.me/username, where are you placing that?
So if you were going to say, because some conversions, people would put the website itself in the copy. So you could put that right in the copy, m.me/ your username on your page, and then it'll populate as a link. And then you can say, message me privately here, right? If you can't use a button. Or test both. Why not? Right? Always test different options. Always be curious. Just because one person did it doesn't mean that it might not work for you too, right? Or it might work better for you than somebody else. So always test the different variations. That's the fun part in this. It's just a matter of tracking it. And if you guys did see that 2.5-hour video with dark posts and the dollar a day strategy and stuff like that, go buy that book off Tyler, and then you can manage to record and track everything. Any more questions?
I do have one question. I just wanted to touch on, like, if you can clarify, like, impressions. So when you're looking, so when it's like populating your data, like, how many impressions generally do you, or do you use that at all? Like, because I've heard some people, no, you don't?
No.
Okay, because I've heard some people talking about, like, you have to wait until it gets to a certain amount of impressions to actually be able to, like, read the data or trust the data.
Yeah, Facebook says 80,000. So that's like $80 to $100 spent on an ad to fully optimize. So I've never leveraged from that angle. But I mean, that's what Facebook says, to fully optimize things, to get like really consistent, I guess, to really know exactly what, like, fine tuning it. But I've never done that. Usually it was like, we would just go off of like $10 spent. So it was usually about 1,000 people reached, which was usually around, 800 to 900 impressions, to be honest.
Okay, perfect.
If it's gonna be like if you're building your ad and your ad set, like, this is a little bit more complicated, but I'll try to translate it as well as I can. You can build like a conversions to website and pick lead, right? Oh, and this is a cool data point. That's cool. But if you pick lead, so you want conversions to lead, right? So when you click on the website and it gives you the options of like page view, lead, website registration, website purchase, and it shows all your pixel options. We always pick lead, right? Optimize for the cheapest leads. Well, sometimes with that, it'll be learning for a while. So it'll show that it's learning. So what you can do sometimes is you can optimize it for link clicks first. So it optimizes to get link clicks first. And then once it gets X amount of link clicks, it will turn itself over to leads and optimize for leads. In order to get a well-optimized ad, when it comes to conversions, and this is why I always stayed away from conversions, because there's always these little fucking pieces all over the place with them. With conversions, in order to get really consistent optimization, it's like 15 actions per week on that ad. Meaning, if you're optimizing for, say, leads, you need 15 leads per week on that ad in order for it to be optimized. That's just another factor. So if you're running $5 a day and you're only getting like, 2 to 3 leads or 4 leads a week, you should be running new ads. You should be testing new ads anyway. But say for whatever reason you're okay with spending $10 or whatever per lead, or $12 per lead, you would probably either want to, if you had the budget, you would want to scale the spend up so you could get 15 of those lead actions per week for it to optimize, or change it to link clicks and optimize for link clicks, because you're always going to get more link clicks than you are leads. You're always going to get more leads than you are website purchases, right? So that's where you're starting to get in like this. That's a little bit more advanced stuff. Okay, guys. So don't like obsess over that kind of shit. The things to obsess over is how much are you paying per lead, and understanding if a comment or a message to you is a lead or not, depending on how you're running your ads and running your business. How much are you paying per leads? And then just optimizing and testing against the best one at all times. You should always be testing something. Always. Until you get a point where you got the ship flowing and sales are coming in, then you can start focusing on the next piece, which is essentially the first piece is to get your ads out. Second piece is to get leads. So if you're not getting a ton of leads right now, that should be your main focus. How do I get more leads? That's the only thing I care about right now. When I start getting consistent leads and decent price for my leads, now the next step is, okay, how do I turn my leads into sales? How do I turn my leads into $99 buyers, right? What can I do differently to get them that conversion done from lead to $99 buyers? Now that's the most important piece that you need to be focused on. Once you got that flowing and that's going good and you're generating global affiliate zone sales, okay, how do I convert these global affiliate zone sales into product buyers? And that's where you take the next step in your business. Do yourselves a favor and don't try to handle all of it at once. One fucking piece at a time, right? So figure out where you are and focus, put your main focus on that, right? That answer the question good?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's perfect. I just have to say that I've loved this training. It has like a little bit of everything peppered into it, you know, like you go over like the whole, like the business write-off side and like, you know, like all of these little tidbits and they all tie in together and they're all big pieces to it, like right down to the magic of the mindset. And, you know, like it's just, it has a little bit of everything. So it's very well-rounded, very, there's tons of value in it.
Good. I'll end it with the fact of, if you aren't reading the magic and you aren't getting the results you want to get, then sober the fuck up and read the magic. Simple as that. And I'm sorry if you guys don't like swearing and stuff, but it's just who I am. But that's honestly, it was a tough move for me to do. I really didn't want to do it. I didn't want to read. And my mentor told me, he goes, because I showed him everything. I was like, dude, this is what I'm doing. These are my videos. This is my copy. This is my testing. Like, what can I be doing differently? He's like, looks like you're doing everything pretty good. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what's going on. Well, are you reading? Well, no, man, I'm not a reader. It's not my thing. Well, do you like the results that I'm getting? Well, yeah, I do. Well, then do what I do. And the one thing you aren't doing is fucking reading. So read the goddamn books. And that's when everything shifted. I started reading the magic. And when I did it 100%. I committed 100%. I woke up 20 minutes early every morning when I was working 12 hours a day and putting 4 to 6 hours in my business every day. I made sure that I cut out of my sleep time to practice gratitude. I didn't miss it any day. And by doing that and doubling down on it for 28 days, all of a sudden, I pulled out a $38,000 month. And I didn't change anything except this thing. So if it takes the fact that if I got to leverage you guys and sell you on the fact that you're going to make more money by doing it, then you're going to make more money by reading the magic. It's true. You will. And you don't know where it's going to come from. Maybe it'll come from the business. Maybe it'll come from something else. I don't know. But things will start to line up when you surrender. So if you're not willing to work on yourself, we'll surrender to it and give up the fucking game because you're only hurting yourself, right? Surrender to it, read it, and yeah, perfect. Don't just read, implement, 100%. Knowledge is power. Bullshit. Applied knowledge is power. You can read and know everything in a book. You could read the frickin' encyclopedia, the dictionary, whatever you want. You could go to school and get a PhD and everything, but if you don't apply any of it, it's completely fucking useless. You might as well have not done it in the first place. So if you're reading the magic or anything like that and you're not implementing the things that it's telling you to implement, then just don't waste anyone's time, including your own. Don't read it unless you're going to implement the things that you're learning. It's no different than this call, right? If you guys are on this call right now, and yeah, I just gave you I agree. I gave you guys a fuck ton of information and value, and I would definitely watch this again. right? I might even watch this again if I can get the replay, right? But if you're going to listen to all this, expert secrets here, but if you're going to listen to all this stuff and show up, but you're not going to put any of it to action, then don't waste your time. The most important thing is putting action out, taking action and doing the things and implementing. Get over the fact of if it's like, oh, well, maybe it won't work. Well, nobody fucking cares. Just do it anyway. And know for sure. And if it doesn't work, then now you know. Right? Always implement everything that you're learning. I mean, you'll never be able to implement everything. I shouldn't say that because it's like an absolute. But always be implementing and utilizing everything that you can. Right? Absorb information, write it down. And this is what I love about doing this kind of shit, because the two most powerful things about having knowledge or learning something, acquiring knowledge, whatever it is, the two most important factors, in my opinion, is contextualizing things. So writing it down, right? And that's why journals are so powerful. That's why the magic is so powerful when you write it down, right? And then verbalizing things. Verbalize and contextualize. I didn't mean to finger there. Verbalize and contextualize, right? Because when it's in here, that's great. That's fantastic, right? But then when you have to figure out how to put it all together and put it into words, or put it all together and write it out in English, right? That's where it becomes powerful. Because it takes a little bit of work to do that. You know what's going on up here. Everything is within you. Everything is within you. However, when it can come out of you, it's a whole new level of understanding. When I teach, I learn so much. Because there's a lot of things that I have up in here that I've never contextualized and never verbalized. Because I've read a book or I've tested some stuff personally. And then somebody asked me a question. And because I'm teaching it, it helps me learn as well, right? That's the power of verbalizing and contextualizing everything. If I can leave you with anything with the call, that's probably one of the most powerful pieces right there. Fucking speak out, talk, write things down, teach, right? Take notes, and then read it out loud. It's so powerful. So powerful. Right? And then when you combine the two, when you're doing gratitude, right? It's huge. And actually feel it and mean it, right? Yeah, 100%.
Wow. That is a lot of gold. Definitely going to be rewatching this one a couple times for sure.
Sweet.
So good, man. So good.
Any other questions you guys got?
I do have one question. When you said the $5 a day, the same post, but different pictures, are you talking about like, okay, I do it for like Monday, Tuesday, and then I kind of shut that off, and then a different one Wednesday, Thursday, and then Thursday, Friday, and then, so it's, I guess my question though too is because is it going to be different? Some people are on Monday, some people aren't on Wednesday. Is that going to really matter later on, or are we just playing with this just to put it out there? Not playing with it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like before, like we could analyze the fuck out of everything. We could go through our ads, or 64 points. I could go through and I've done this before because I'm very analytical. Okay. Is it worth the time? No, it's just something that I was enjoying to do. But I could go through a video and I could start breaking down, okay, from 25% to 50%, everyone sticks around. From 50% to 75%, I just lost like 40% of the people. What's going on? Then go back to my video and calculate, okay, whereabouts is that in my video, and watch that piece and be like, oh yeah, that's what I said wrong, or that's what I did, right? And analyze the fuck out of it and shoot another video and change it. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can decide on what days you want to post things. I mean, and yeah, is it going to have a factor to everything? Absolutely. But the most powerful factors that are important are the basics. Always build off the baseline and then dig deeper from there when you have a more solid understanding, right?
Perfect. Thank you.
Leads, comments, messages.
Thank you.
100%.
Does anybody have anything else? Oops. Am I muted?
Nope.
No. Oh. Does anybody have anything else that they want to ask Aaron while we have him here? I know that we've taken even an extra hour of your time, Aaron, so we're super appreciative. We know you've got a big team and you're busy in the middle of your launch too. So anybody speak up now if you want to get his attention or ask him anything.
I just want to thank you for all the value in this training tonight. Like, it's been a lot of good stuff to take in. I've got notes, and thanks to you, I'm probably going to be up all night. So appreciate you, brother. I've got some work to do. In the beginning there, you mentioned something about a wicked secret. What's this wicked secret?
Oh yeah, the wicked secret is stop running post engagements.
Oh, that's the one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're getting, now with that being said, if you're getting results, if you're getting comments and getting leads from it right now, then don't just shut it down because it's producing for you. But if you're sitting there struggling, trying to get ads to work and you're using post engagements, then just fucking stop and go do conversions or start figuring out how to do conversions to Messenger. That's what I would recommend. Most of the times, if we just take a post engagement ad where it's like a call to action saying message me or comment below in a video or in the story, and we just flip it right over to conversions, it usually just performs better, right? But like I said, with that being said, if you have a post engagement ad and it is getting you results, don't shut it down. Test against it first. So then turn on a conversions with the same style. And then if it starts to get better results, then shut your post engagement on. Right?
Copy that. Right on. Thanks.
Yeah, man. And I recommend that for all of your guys' split testing as you test things. Like I said earlier, always be spending money on ads if you can, right? If you have the budget for it, there's no fucking excuse to shut your ads off. If you're like, oh, I'm going to an event, I don't care. Keep it running, right? Just because you can't talk to those people if they're commenting for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days a week, who cares? Guess what? You're living a lifestyle business, and you can just come back to them and be like, hey, sorry, I was on vacation while my business is running for me in the background. Right? Set up a welcome message where it says that to them. You can do that with Facebook, right? If you're going to leave, don't shut off your fucking ads. Leave them. I hate that. That's a pet peeve of mine. There's people that I know that do that. And if you're one of those people, it's not that I hate you. I just hate the concept of that. To make a reason, like an excuse, like, oh, well, I was going on a trip, or, I was flying for 12 hours, so I shut my ads off for a bit. It's like, sober the fuck up. Why? That's what makes your money. Just because they have to wait for 48 hours before you answer them, big whoop. Then tell them why. Sorry, bro, I was busy. Right? Or sorry, bro, I really wasn't paying attention to my business because I was drinking on the beach. You can do this too. Right? Like, never shut your ads off unless you financially can't afford it. Set up a welcome message that says, hey, I'm just out hanging out with my friends for the next 20 days. So you're not going to hear from me. So click this link and it'll show you what I do. This is the joys about working an online business. See you on the inside. Right? Just a little tidbit that I wanted to throw in there.
I just want to touch on something really quickly, Lisa, because when you were mentioning the leaving it for 2 days, like the Monday and the Tuesday, and then the Wednesday and the Thursday, I think you were getting at something. I just want to clarify. It is also okay, and tell me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but it's also okay to just, if you want to spend the $40 and place them all at the same time and compress time, right? If you have that in your budget, instead of waiting 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, if you wanted to place them all at the same time and just do the $40. Is that something kind of what you were getting at? That's maybe what I was picking up.
I have my Pixel, I'm trying to rearrange my Pixel. I know he didn't really like Pixel words, but I'm trying to do something different. So I thought maybe, I'm just going to run the Monday, Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, then Friday, Saturday.
You were trying to retrain your Pixel? Go into depth with that, yeah?
Yeah.
So how are you trying to retrain it?
I am actually just not doing any interests, and I'm doing different states than I was before. That's where I'm at right now. because I had like interests in there before. I was running this ad for this, and then this interest for this, and picking this state or that state or this, and it's just, I think it was too much all over the place, and I was just getting not the proper leads.
Mm.
So
Gotcha.
that was my feeling. So, and again, it comes back to the feeling of what you're getting and what you're putting out there. And so I really wasn't, I'm trying to retrain it.
Okay. Yeah, like, I mean, for the most part with pixels, I think it's kind of hard to, I don't understand it completely, but from my understanding, like retraining pixels and stuff like that, I don't know if they're really isolated to like age ranges and locations and stuff. I think it's more focused on finding just profiles of people that take a specific action. So whether that's, they usually just react to things. They usually always share things. They usually watch videos 100% and then don't do anything, or they like to click on links and look around all over the place, or they like to buy lots of shit. So I think that's more or less what the pixel is more focused on. But yeah, like I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, like what Ashley said, if you have room in your split testing budget, then spend the $40, like spend, $20 a day. Right. So, or you can even go bigger than that. This is just like a flow chart where we just created a baseline for people to understand, like a simple baseline of, okay, you do this, if you only have $5 a day budget, test each one of these for 2 days. But, if you can go $20, you could do that whole split test in 2 days.
Perfect. Yep.
Right. And then after that 2 days, because you're still doing $5 a day each, right? But you just build 4 ad sets, right? Or 4 ad sets. So then you can compress time. So now you're not having to wait for 8 days before you decide to build a new ad. So if you're gung-ho and willing to shoot videos and write copy and fucking pin it, then spend $20 a day. After 2 days, take a look at it. Did I get any results on this? I did? Awesome. Which combination? Perfect. Create a page post with it, and then start testing interests now. Create the exact same thing, post it to your page, and try to get the same results. And then from there, leave it running, test against it. If the test wins, shut this one off. If the test loses, leave that going and shut the test off. Make another test, right? Every 48 hours, you can be testing against it at $5 a day. Once you get one that's performing well and you like it, sweet. Go start creating more ads. Shoot some content. Read a copywriting book. Read, Expert Secrets or whatever the other one is, digital something. Whatever it's called. Read some books based on what you want to work on. That's another huge thing that I learned from Cameron George. That was really impactful on me. Whatever you're working on at that time, find books and read them. Don't just read any random book, right? If you need to work on your mindset, then read fucking mindset books. If you need to, if you're focusing on creating better ads, then start reading like How to Win Friends and Influence People, copywriting books, different types of books that'll help you with ads and writing and charisma myth, right? If you're wanting to focus more on, wherever you're at, maybe you're trying to work on your sales skills because you got people commenting a ton and you just got to work on how to close them. Then start reading like, Grant Cardone books, listen to Grant Cardone audios, like submerge yourself with top sales guys, listen to them, figure out their tactics and implement it, put it to action. And then when that starts working, sweet. Now what's the next step that you're going to work on? Find books to focus on that. That was a really powerful thing that I learned from Cam.
Hey, Aaron.
Yep.
Messenger to conversions or conversions to Messenger. What exactly does that do when you're doing that? Is that giving you conversions just to Messenger, or is it giving you conversions on your ad, plus it's giving you conversions in Messenger?
So it'll most likely do both. Depends on how your ad's written and everything, because you're always going to have leak. You're always going to have holes in a bucket where things flow. But the main objective is to convert people from viewing your ad and convert them to messaging you privately. That's the main objective. So if it's conversions to website, for example, right? The main objective is taking a person viewing that ad and converting them to clicking on your website. Does that make sense?
Yep, thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Yeah, so the main objective is to get them to click on a button and send you a message. Or if there is no button, for them to reach out to you privately. Or if you put that m.me/username in your copy, to click that and send you a message. So that's what it's optimizing for. Doesn't mean that's the only thing you're going to get, because you're always going to have spillage, right?
Excellent. Well, you know what? We're going to let you go so we don't take any more of your time so you can prep for your day. But we're super, super appreciative to have you here and, you know, taking the time for us and going over literally A to Z and everything in between. So cool. So cool. Thank you very much for doing that. I know that everybody here is super grateful for that. We still have 36 people on. We've got a lot of Easterners as well, too. So I know that there was a little bit of a drop-off rate, but 36 right to the end, everybody. It's fantastic.
Yeah, keep something in mind too, and this goes for yourselves as well as when you're selling people. The human brain usually is only able to absorb about 7 pieces of information before it fully locks up. There's a cool fun fact for you, and it's something that'll help you with sales, and it'll help you with everything that you just learned right now. So when you hit 7 pieces of information, your brain just goes, and it stops absorbing.
Oh, is that what happens? Is that why it does that to me?
Yeah. Locks up. Unless you can do a change in pattern. So if you can create some laughter, like doing stupid shit like that, like I always do, right? It's a tactic to help you guys learn, or to help with the sales tactic, really. Because what I've been doing for you guys this whole time is I've been selling you on ideas, right?
Bing.
Sales, yeah. So sales is the most powerful skill you can ever learn. So, you know, that's a cool little fun fact. So if you're chatting with people, you know, just do a little changes in things every once in a while. If you're giving them a whole bunch of information, well, guess what? They're going to read through, they're going to hit a few points. This is something completely new to them. And they're going to go, yeah, this isn't for me. Right? Short little pieces. If you are a humorous person, if you are funny, do a little jabs in there. You don't have to be professional and straight edge. I'm the most unprofessional person you'll ever meet. I have a mullet, for fuck's sakes. And I swear all the time, right? But when you can bring in a little bit of change to pace, make people laugh, throw a little bit of character in things, be charismatic, right? While you're supplying information, people are engaged. They engage more, right? And then that way they'll absorb information better. And that way they'll like, know, and trust you more. And that way they'll fucking buy off you, or they'll follow what you have, or they'll believe in your vision, or whatever it is, right? That's a skill that I learned from my father. By being able to communicate and storytell and tell things from that aspect and bring humor into everything while you're explaining things, it creates something where people will like, know, and trust you. And then that way they'll do the things that you want to do, because they're going to align with it, because they like you, right? One of the most powerful ways to create a movement, like I have with Diamond Movement, and create a legacy with what I want, and to find people that will carry on my vision, is by doing that, right? Finding people who align with me by communicating and sharing my vision. And that's the power of verbalizing things. If you have a dream, Martin Luther King, I have a dream, right? He verbalized that. He put it out there, and he found people to follow him, a movement, right? It's no different than everything that we fucking do every single day, right? If you have something and you're passionate about it, verbalize it, put it out there, tell people. And when I say this is a direct reflection on myself, because I have things that I haven't verbalized yet, because I've been making up bullshit excuses on wanting to make sure that it's perfect, right? Where there's things that, and I think a lot of people do that, right? So quit making bullshit excuses, start verbalizing what you want, because now you're putting it out in the universe, if you want to look at it that way. Right? And the universe can't give you shit unless you tell it what you want. Right? But just by doing that, like something that I am working on and need to do soon, right? Sooner than later, is speak of my big vision on what I want to create and be specific with it. And I want to create an advertisement around that with no call to action, really, just literally to show my vision. Because when you do those types of things, people see it and they're like, holy shit, I am totally in alignment with that. And they will follow you to the end of the earth because they're just like you, right? The power of verbalizing and contextualizing. Fuck, I gotta get out of here, man. It's just gonna, because I love talking so much. So as soon as something sparks in my head, I have to get it out.
Well, it's benefiting us, so thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You probably haven't eaten or anything.
Oh, I had breakfast this morning.
Damn. Yeah, okay. Go get some food. We appreciate you a lot, buddy.
Yeah, I love and appreciate you guys too. Thanks for inviting me out.
Yeah, really for sure. I'll make sure you get a copy of this replay.
Okay, sick.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for showing up for yourselves, your business.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. See y'all soon.
Peace out, guys.
Guys, peace.
Bye.